You don't need more time. You don't need more effort. You don't need a miracle. The only thing you need is a sentence. Just one sentence spoken at the right moment with unwavering faith can turn your entire life around in 24 hours. Not a year from now. Not when you've healed, earned enough, or finally feel ready. You don't have to be perfect to step into what's already prepared for you. You only need to declare it. From the sacred scriptures to the mystical revelations, every act of creation begins not with effort, but with the word. Let there be light, and there was light. In the same way, your life doesn't change when you struggle harder, but when you speak differently. When you speak not from fear, but from faith. When you stop describing your old reality and begin commanding the new. You've tried it all: prayers, meditation, journaling, personal development. But perhaps the one thing you haven't yet done is speak your sentence. The one that activates divine law and causes the universe to rearrange everything in your favor. I now step into the life that has already been prepared for me. It appears within 24 hours by divine law. If you are ready to stop waiting and start commanding, stay. Because in this next part, I'll show you where this sentence comes from, why it works faster than any other method, and how to speak it the right way. So you don't just repeat it. You ignite it with spiritual power. Take a deep breath. And join me as we open the first door, the mystic power of a soul-spoken word. There are moments in life when you don't need advice. You don't need a healer. You don't need a 10-year plan. You just need one sentence. A sentence charged with divine vibration. One that strikes at the perfect moment, like a bell ringing through the midnight stillness. This sentence isn't comfort. It isn't encouragement. It is a decree spoken from the highest part of you, the part where you and the divine are one. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Your word is your wand." The words you speak create your own destiny. Most people live as if lost, wandering in the maze of delay, doubt, and thoughts never spoken aloud. They think the universe is ignoring them, but it's not. The universe is waiting for you to speak. From the very first book of Genesis, we see this truth. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. No planning, no debate, just a sentence, and light came into being. That sentence carried the full force of creative power. It needed no permission, no validation. And you have been given that same power. For you were created in the image of the Creator, which means you create through your word. The law of the soul does not respond to begging. It responds to the vibration of belief. When you speak a sentence from your soul, not from fear, you redraw your energetic map. All of life begins aligning with the new vibrational pattern your words just declared. By your word you are justified, and by your word you are condemned. Matthew 12:37. Words don't just describe reality, they create it. Florence said, "Change your words and you change your world." You don't change behavior first, you change your words. And to change your words, you must first change your beliefs. Maybe you've spoken before, and nothing seemed to happen. Maybe you feared you weren't spiritual enough, or good enough. Or maybe no one ever taught you that. To speak with divine authority is not arrogance. It is the key to activating the law. Why do some people pray for years and see nothing change? Because they speak without faith. They speak from their human fear, not from their sanctified self. And this is not magic in the mystical sense. It is the command code to the law. A decree with structure, rhythm, vibration. The law does not judge who you are. It responds only to vibrational match. Florence said, "Fear is only inverted faith." Fear is still faith, but pointed in the wrong direction. So reverse it. Instead of describing your circumstance, declare your divine truth. If you've ever spoken a sentence from deep within and witnessed a miracle, write that sentence in the comments. Not just to inspire, but to activate a network of faith. One person speaks, another remembers, a third dares to declare for the first time. I once said, "I am the divine flow of limitless prosperity." 3 days later, I received my dream job. Write it, share it, bring it to life. Because, as Florence reminds us, words are containers. They carry faith or fear, and they deliver accordingly. So, how do you create the right sentence? A sentence that vibrates. A sentence the law cannot ignore. Not all words carry equal power. In the next section, I'll walk you through the three-layered energy structure of a soul-deep declaration. Why within 24 hours is not a promise, but a mechanism. And how to not merely repeat the words, but to live inside them. Take a breath. Feel the stillness in your heart. Your rebirth does not begin with action. It begins with a sentence. One of the greatest misunderstandings people have is believing that God is moved by the intensity of their emotions. They cry, they tremble, they beg with desperation, and yet nothing moves. Then comes the conclusion. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe it's not time yet. But Florence Scovel Shinn made it very clear the law does not respond to emotion. It responds to a perfect idea held in divine mind and spoken with faith. Spiritual law doesn't respond to sadness. It is not stirred by longing. It responds to the vibration of truth spoken aloud with unwavering belief. Emotion may create momentum, but only the words spoken in faith unlocks the gates of destiny. Someone can cry for hours in silence, but if they never declare what they choose to live, the law has nothing to operate on. In your word is your wand. Florence gave this simple affirmation, I have a perfect work in a perfect way. I give perfect service for perfect pay. There is no pleading in that sentence. No tears. Just a spiritual command, vibrational precise. And because of that, it acts like a switch activating the divine circuitry that was already waiting. In the game of life and how to play it, Florence tells of a young woman who had lost her job and her hope. She came to Florence in a state of panic and despair, but Florence didn't tell her to update her resume or say long prayers. She simply said, "Speak this, I have a perfect work in a perfect way under perfect grace." The woman repeated it with trust, not fear. And within 3 days, the door opened to a job even better than she had imagined. Florence explained it wasn't the situation that changed. First, it was the vibration. The moment the woman made a declaration in faith, the law was activated. Have you noticed those who say, "I hope it happens often," wait a long time? But those who say, "I know it's coming," seem to see miracles much faster. That's because faith is expectancy. You expect the thing you speak of to appear. Florence, that is how the law works. It's not moved by your emotion, but by your clarity. The law is like a GPS. It doesn't read your feelings. It needs a precise address. And that address is your sentence. So stop and reflect. In the last 24 hours, have you spoken a sentence that carried real power? Drop it in the comments. A sentence you once declared and your life shifted. Or the sentence you will begin saying today with full belief and correct vibration. We don't share to be seen. We share because collective faith shakes individual reality. You see it now, don't you? The law is not waiting for your tears. It's not on hold to see if you've suffered enough. It begins moving the moment you speak clearly, completely from the correct vibration. So then, how do you build that vibration of faith, especially when your mind is still full of doubt? In the next part, you'll discover how to train your mind so your words carry real force, why a powerful sentence must carry rhythm and repetition, and how new belief can overwrite old programming in your subconscious. Get ready, because the next section isn't just knowledge. It's the deepest mind rewiring method Florence ever offered. Shall I continue with the next section? By now you understand spiritual law doesn't respond to emotion. It responds to a clear, confident command. But not all sentences carry the same weight. A truly powerful declaration is built on 3 energetic layers: structure, the clarity of language; faith, the vibration of belief; rhythm, the consistency that makes it magnetic. And to be effective, your declaration must be personalized, rooted in your real-life desire, love, wealth, or health. A spiritual mantra or soul-deep command should include A clear action verb, showing that you move, receive, embody. Examples I receive, I step into, I embody. Be a vivid, specific desire. Not vague, but vibrationally detailed. Examples, divine abundance. True soulmate, perfect health. CA time power statement. Activating it now by spiritual law. Examples now by divine law, in perfect timing, by spiritual authority. Complete sample declarations. I receive divine abundance now by sacred law. I embody perfect health now through divine wisdom. In the power of the spoken word. Florence described every phrase as a vibrational key. Saying I receive divine abundance is like turning a key in the lock of the universe. If it fits, it opens. If not, it's just noise. Your words only unlock power when you believe they're already true. Here's how to build that kind of belief. Integrate it into daily acts. Say your declaration in small rituals. Before you drink water, whisper I hydrate in perfect health now. This makes your words part of lived experience. Pair it with vivid mental imagery. Want financial help? Visualize receiving a check in hand, then say I receive divine abundance now. Let the picture feel real. Include I am to claim your divine identity. Examples. I am a magnet for divine health and joy now, Florence said. Whatever we assign to ourselves, we must live as though we already are it. We don't speak to wish, we speak to step into the role of our faith. And don't forget rhythm. Say your statement consistently, each morning upon waking, midday to realign, evening to seal your vibration. As Florence wrote, repetition creates the groove. The mind bows to rhythm. The more you say it, the deeper it roots. Let's explore examples personalized to life areas. Love. Soulmate. I open my heart to divine love now, and I am thankful for my soulmate who compliments and uplifts me. Visual. Feel your heart open as you meet them. See your energies merge in peace and joy. Finances. Abundance. I receive divine abundance now effortlessly and constantly by the law of grace. Visual. See your bank balance rising, bills paid. Feel calm, free and supported. Health, wholeness. I embody perfect health now energized and whole by divine healing power. Visual, your cells glowing. Deep breath flowing. Strength returning. Take a moment, pause the video if needed. Drop these in the comments. Your personal spiritual command categorized love, wealth, health. The image you connect to when you say it. A moment, even a small one, where you felt a shift by speaking that phrase. Example, I receive divine abundance now. I pictured holding a stack of cash. The next morning I received an unexpected bonus. We are building a community of faith declarations, where your sentence might be the spark that gives someone else the courage to speak theirs for the first time. Now you understand how to build a sentence with structure, fuel it with belief, anchor it with rhythm and repetition. But what about subconscious blocks? What if old doubts still whisper, "This isn't working"? In the next section, we'll go deeper with a technique to reprogram subconscious beliefs, how to use guided meditation to activate your statement at the highest mental frequency, and a 3-day challenge to help you experience real, visible change. Shall I continue writing that next section for you? One of the biggest mistakes people make is this. They say something loudly with their lips, but quietly, hesitantly with their thoughts. You might speak, I receive divine abundance now, but inside you're thinking, I don't know when money will ever show up. Spiritual law does not respond to mixed signals. If your voice says one thing and your inner vibration says another, the law neutralizes the request. Nothing moves. Let me give you a real example. A student once repeated, I am strong and healthy. But deep down, she was still fearful about an upcoming medical result. After 7 days, she panicked. Her health hadn't shifted. We tried something new, a speak then act ritual. Every morning, she said her affirmation and immediately wrote down one small proof that she was feeling stronger. By the second week, she said, my body feels lighter. And I'm no longer obsessing over what I can or can't eat. Another mistake. Saying the words with your mouth but secretly believing they're just wishful thinking. Doubt is like an anchor. You might paddle with all your strength, but if the anchor is still buried in the seabed, your boat won't move. Florence warned us doubt is merely inverted faith. Think in fear and you think in the wrong direction. How to fix it? Have a dialogue with your doubt. Don't suppress it, bring it to light. Ask, why do I feel this won't happen? Then answer back firmly. Still, I choose to believe. My words have power. This is like energetic cleansing, like clearing static from a sacred signal. Your spiritual command must not sound like begging or a rambling explanation. It must have clear rhythm, sacred tone, steady breath. Say it too fast and the mind doesn't register it. Say it too slow and doubt sneaks in. Find a pace where each word vibrates in your chest, where your whole body resonates with the truth you're declaring. You might say, I receive divine abundance, but by nightfall, the bill is still unpaid, and you give up. Florence reminded us every demonstration, no matter how small, builds faith. Keep a signal log. Someone smiled at you unexpectedly. You got a surprising phone call. You felt more peace than usual. Write it down. Feel it. Say thank you. These are micro-proof moments. They build your foundation. And if your inner voice starts whispering, others get results, but I don't, you've stepped into comparison. And as Florence taught, comparison is the thief of joy. Stay on your path. Notice your signs. Let others inspire you, but don't let them derail you. Here are small practices to restore clarity. Place your hand on your heart. Speak slowly. Let your body feel the sentence. After speaking, write down one thing. You noticed an image, a feeling, a shift. Observe without judgment. Did you feel lighter, more grounded? Just notice. If doubt arises, respond with yes, I feel it growing in me now. Try this 7-day challenge. Each day, write in the comments the sentence you spoke, the pace you used, what you noticed, no matter how small. When you share, you're not just encouraging yourself, you're linking your vibration to others, walking this sacred path. Each sentence you speak, each reflection you write, is a light for someone else to follow. You now recognize the most common spiritual errors and how to cleanse them, so your words can truly activate the law. But here's the truth. The hardest part isn't speaking powerfully once it's keeping your sentence alive every day in the middle of ordinary life. So in the next section, we'll explore how to set up auto-reminders to speak your affirmation at key moments, how to customize your sentence to match your morning, midday, and evening flow, and how to live your mantra not just in words, but in every action of the day. Would you like me to continue and write that final part? There's a deep truth. Miracles don't just happen when you say your affirmation. They happen when you live inside its vibration. When your words become not just a moment, but a mood, a motion, a rhythm. That's when you don't just toss a stone. You create ripples of transformation all around you. Morning, the sacred 0 point. Right before the alarm pulls you into the day, your spirit is still quiet, open, receptive. Inner state, calm, clear, lightly aware. Practice. Take 3 deep breaths, hand on your heart. Exhale slowly. Say gently but with authority, I now step into a life prepared for me. It appears within 24 hours by divine law. Feel peace, gratitude, as though you've stepped through a glowing door of light. Why it matters. Morning is the 0 point of your soul. Start your day in alignment, and every event afterward will revolve around that vibration. Midday, anchoring amidst distraction. Afternoons can scatter your focus emails, deadlines, noise. This is when you must re-anchor to your spiritual center. Practice. Take a 1-minute pause around lunch. Close your eyes. Say again, I now step into a life prepared for me. Visualize a gentle moment. Sunlight, laughter, inner calm. Inhale, exhale, and whisper. Thank you for the presence of divine law. Evening, imprinting your subconscious. Evenings are magical. Your soul becomes porous. What you say now sinks deep. Inner state, stillness, surrender, gentle closure. Practice. Before bed, say your sentence 3 times each with breath awareness feeling. Visualize the details. You living your new life. Launching that project. Holding your soulmate. Feeling whole and well. End with true thanks. Thank you that the outcome is already prepared. Your words now enter the subconscious and shape tomorrow's behaviors and results. Key moments, action triggers. Before important actions, use your mini declarations as energetic keys. Examples. Before sending an important email, I speak with clarity and divine authority now. Before stepping on stage or into a meeting, I embody confident presence now. Inner state. Grounded, focused, sovereign. You're not speaking to people, you're speaking to the law. And action will adjust accordingly. Now, imagine dozens of souls speaking the same phrase at the same time, creating a harmonic field, a sacred echo throughout the spiritual airwaves. Try this in your community. Schedule a 30-minute Zoom or live stream. Speak the affirmation together. Launch a morning mantra challenge. Let each participant post a photo or emoji with their experience. Invite others. Comment when you spoke your affirmation today. What did you feel? Tag a friend to begin too. A. You are not only transforming yourself, you're forming a molecule of faith, a spiritual current connecting hearts that speak in alignment. Reflect and share. What sentence did you speak this morning, midday, evening? What was your inner state when saying it? Did you feel even a small shift, a moment of peace, a flicker of hope, a soft joy? Every sentence you share is a brick in the temple of collective belief. When someone like you speaks, someone else dares to speak for the first time. So far you've learned when to speak, how to feel it internally, how to connect with community. But what happens when life hits hard, when stress, fear, or doubt come crashing in? In the next section, you'll explore a technique called the positive signal chain to block returning doubt. How to build your emotional library so you instantly feel the right energy when speaking. And a 21-day challenge to absorb new beliefs daily until they become instinct, not effort. Would you like me to continue writing that next section? You've walked this path with me through ideas, vibrations, and sacred declarations. Through the whisper of your own soul beginning to speak. But let me tell you something truly important. This is not the destination. This is the first doorway. And you've just stepped through it. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Until we illuminate what's hidden, we keep calling our patterns destiny. But destiny begins to shift. The moment you begin to choose your words consciously daily. Florence Scovel Shinn didn't write to explain. She wrote to awaken. Every word she left behind isn't just text, it's fire. So if today you've whispered, I choose to live by divine law, then you've chosen to awaken from the old programming. You've chosen to speak to the universe in the language of spirit. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are becoming the architect of your own destiny. You don't need to remember everything. Just remember this. Every day you plant a seed. A declaration of faith in the morning. A silent gratitude before lunch. An affirmation whispered before sleep. And in time you will see the results didn't come because you said it perfectly. They came because you lived the vibration consistently, sacredly. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to share 3 things in the comments. The affirmation you will now keep close. A moment where you felt the strongest vibration while watching. One small thing you will do differently from today. Share gently. Because maybe, just maybe, someone else will read your words. And begin to believe in the healing power of speech because of you. This is not just a YouTube channel. This is a soul space. a place you can return to when you feel lost. When your heart feels heavy, when you need to remember, you are not alone. Click subscribe not for the algorithm, but because you're saying yes to a deeper inner journey with yourself. And please save this video. Don't just watch and forget. Come back to it on the days you doubt your path, on the days you forget your power. Because the words you speak today are the bridge to your highest self tomorrow. Would you like me to now compile the entire 5-part series into a full-length video script for easy recording or use in your YouTube channel?